Good afternoon. My name is Brendan Herkenhoff, and my presentation is Altamirano Animals. As it stands, pets are in fact allowed across New Mexico Tech's campus, including inside buildings other than Fidel Hall, which houses our cafeteria. The school has even gone as far as to allow students to have emotional support animals in any of the on-campus housing, with certain limitations, in the last year and a half. This has been a very successful endeavor, as many students have been able to bring their pets with them to school throughout the semester, and it's had a noticeably positive impact on the students across campus. More people find themselves outside with their pets and participating in many different activities that they may not have previously. Service animals have also played a large role in our country, especially in the last 20 years. As they've become more and more accepted in common places. From seeing eye dogs to those who provide support for veterans with PTSD, these animals have proven themselves invaluable and shown how much of an impact they can make. In addition to service animals that provide support to those with physical disabilities, there are also emotional support animals, which greatly help those struggling with mental illnesses such as anxiety and depression. As it stands, approximately 20% of adults in the United States experience some form of mental illness in a given year. That's 1 in every 5 people, and another 1 in 25 that suffer from a serious mental illness that limits 1 or more major life activities. Due to this, emotional support animals have become increasingly crucial within our country. The issue of mental illness is even more pronounced in our college students. In 2009, approximately 31% of students surveyed felt they had some form of severe depression or anxiety, and in 2018 that number had jumped to 42%. This would be almost every other student, and the trend shows that this statistic is rising, and quickly at that. This highlights the importance of emotional support animals on a college campus and provides strong reasoning to allow pets throughout the campus. It can clearly be seen that service animals and emotional support animals are incredibly important in today's society, and the introduction of these support animals into college living has made a substantial impact in the lives of those allowed to care for one. I would like to propose that we expand this emotional effect to not only those who have a mental illness, such as depression, but to anyone who lives in on-campus housing. Anyone would be allowed to bring their pet, with certain limitations of course, and I believe this would greatly improve the lives of students. Phase 1 of this project would be determining the housing that would allow pets within them. Many people have allergies to household pets, and due to this it would be disrespectful not to include them in the consideration. By keeping certain housing or sections off limits to pets, those with an allergy would be provided a space to live in which they don't have to worry about a reaction nearly as much. Even though there would be pets across campus and they're all already, they wouldn't have to live right next to a pet necessarily. Another important factor to consider in pets across campus is what sizes of pets would be allowed. This will likely be based on weight, as it provides a common way to compare pet size and leaves other aspects of a pet choice to the student. It's important to consider the space these pets need and where the student is living. If the student lives in an apartment, it would be acceptable to have a larger pet, such as a weight limit of say 40 pounds, whereas someone living in a dorm may be restricted to 20 pounds, as the pet would be confined to a much smaller space. Another aspect that must be taken into account are the roommates. It would be necessary to receive approval from all of a student's roommates in order to have a pet, as the roommates are also going to have to live with the animal. Rules would also be set in place regarding noise complaints and general sound a pet makes, as this can distract other students. Applying a noise complaint rule would most likely be the first action. If you get 3 strikes or whatever is decided upon, then you have to remove your pet from the campus. The next phase would be to determine the fees associated with a student owning a pet. This would likely be a semester convenience fee, maybe around $100 or whatever is determined. And there would also need to be post-semester fees if the pets caused any sort of damage or the student left a mess that wasn't cleaned. These fees would equal the cost of repairs or cleaning, and then some to compensate. Finally, this would have to be drafted into the policies of the school officially, and the students informed of the change. This would likely come through a mass email across the student body, as well as a couple of flyers in Fidel Hall and other bulletins across the campus. In order to have a pet on New Mexico Tech's campus, first of all, you must be a full-time student who lives on campus in housing that's suitable and previously determined. Once this is determined to be true, a quick interview should be attended in order to determine if a student's pet would be allowed and to provide documentation that the roommates have approved of this pet. The interview would also serve as a medium to discuss the rules associated with having a pet, such as cleanliness and noise, as well as to sign a waiver stating the owner takes responsibility for the pet and any other necessary legal documentation. When considering this proposal, it's difficult to find many costs. The greatest may be any damage to the housing that may occur due to a pet, but something else to consider is any noise that may be created by an animal. It's not always possible to calm down a pet, and in some cases this may cause distraction for other students in the area. If this is the case, the noise complaint system set in place would assist in this matter, as an uncontrollable pet may be asked to be removed after several offenses. The benefits, however, seem to greatly outweigh the costs. The campus would see an increase in outdoor activity, and it's very likely that the overall happiness of students would improve. The increase in social activity due to pets may also lead to students living healthier lives and learning to better manage their time, as well as proving another source of motivation to complete work. Thank you very much for all of your time, and I hope you consider this project and possibly implement it into New Mexico Tech's campus housing.